Robert, what's up, buddy? All right, what's going on, guys? Chris with Chef Sports Cards here on a fun Sunday night. Everybody had their football fill today. The boys are losing, which, to be honest, I kind of wanted the boys to win because I want to beat the hell out of them next week. But it's not over yet. But you know, it's not looking good for the boys. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, welcome. We are doing 2022 Topps Pro Debut Half Jumbo Case Break number 16. Bit about us if you're new to the channel. We're been around for 5 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading, and we ship as quickly as our little hands will move. These will probably be out by Tuesday, I would imagine. Shoot for tomorrow, but probably Tuesday. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks. When we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. So if you want a chance to get into any of our future free breaks, just hit the old subscribe button there. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Rich L, Braves, Philip A, Orioles, Daniel O, Red Sox, Matthew F, Cubs, Thomas M, White Sox, Chad M, Reds, Scott B, Guardians, Julie C, Rockies, Rich L, Tigers, Timothy T, Royals, Chad M, Astros, Eric M, Angels, Robert R, and Dodgers, Robert R, Brewers, Randy S, Twins and Marlins, Chad M, Yankees, Greg C, A's, Chad M, Phillies, Jeremy J, Pirates, Randy W, Cardinals, Jeremy J, Padres, Robert H, Giants, Jeremy J, Mariners, Tanya T, Rays, Chad M, Rangers, Robert R, and Nationals, Chad M. All right, let's open some cards. Good luck, everybody. See what old Pro Debut has for us. I still have some boxes of Pro Debut sitting around. I got some hobbies too. Next week we'll probably do a hobby break. So if you like Pro Debut, it's a great inexpensive break. That's what I love about Pro Debut. You can find some cool stuff. You can find some big name autographs that are not expensive. Grab your team for $10 or whatever and cross your fingers. You never know. All right, here we go. And away we go. Cassis, Ramos, Vargas, Acosta, Bachman, and Sweeney. Oh, wow. I must went right by it. Isaac Pacheco auto for Detroit. Timothy. There you go, buddy. We're going to get some focus here. You know what? Let me bring the camera down just a little bit. Here we go. That'll help. Garrett Mitchell for the Brew Crew to 99. Trey Sweeney drafty debut. Bliss, Rosario, Rodriguez, Jones, De La Cruz, Rodriguez. It's quiet out there tonight. Where is everyone? 41 and 99. Just me and Robert hanging out. Hey, Robert, you're in our breaks all the time. All the time. And you always say hi, but you never really chat. What do you do, Robert? Could you tell me? I'd love to know what you do. You are a Padres fan, my friend. Do you live in San Diego? You think I'd notice your address, but they kind of meld together after a while. All right, Clark, Garcia, Tovar. I think we're sticking together. Oh, yeah, Muncie, Holgate. And Polanco for Miami. Frederico Polanco for Chad. And Yohendrick Penango, Chrome 275. 25 is 75 for the Cubbies. Oh, you live in the Bay Area. Okay. Oh, it must be crazy there right now with the game and everything. Are you a Niners fan? Because, the 49ers are going to come to Philadelphia next week and get their butt beat. You grew up in San Diego? Man, you've lived in very nice areas in your life. I am very jealous. You've had more nice weather days probably in 1 year than I've had in my whole life. San Diego especially is just incredible. I was out there a few times. I was there for a wedding years ago in Los something. I know there's a million Los somethings, but it was like just north of San Diego. And I was there for business one time too. My God, it's so beautiful there. Chargers fan, but still can't believe. Oh yeah, you used to go to 49ers games? All right. Well, I appreciate a guy who's diehard and sticks with his hometown teams. That's what I appreciate, my friend. You're from San Diego, you stick with San Diego. That's awesome. All right, Colas, Hernandez, Dominguez, Frazier, Triantos, Ramirez, and Khalil Watson for Miami. 61 of 99. Yeah, those football teams out there, man, they tend to move around a bit. Hey, my nose is ready. Mm-hmm. 45 seconds left, boys. All right, Ortega, Knowles, Campos, Merrill, and Davis. Ooh, red. We like red. Look at that. And it's a color match. Joshua Baez, red chrome, number 2 of 5 for the Cardinals. Very nice. Jeremy. That might be the best $6 you ever spent right there, Jeremy. The new 49ers stadium is nice, but I can't. Oh, yeah. Is it near where Candlestick was? Like, did they build it on the same site? Chris A, what's up, bud? Awesome 2 of 5 at Joshua Baez. Very cool. Nice card. You got the 2 of 5. You got the color match. You got it all, my friend. Yeah, that's a place I've never been to. I've been to Southern California. I've never been to Northern California. I've never been to San Francisco or any place like that. I would love to. I hear it's gorgeous out there. Expensive though, right? Isn't San Francisco like more expensive than New York? Noel, Hendrick, Quintana, Sosa, Williams, Mendez, and for Seattle, Alberto Rodriguez. 30 miles. Is Candlestick still there or did they tear it down? 104 of 150 for Tanya. Where did the Giants play? The baseball team. The Giants baseball team. And you're surrounded. Well, you don't have the football team anymore, but man, live up there. You have 2 baseball teams. I'd love to live in a town with 2 baseball teams. I really would. Like New York, or LA, or San Francisco, or Chicago. Well, I did. I lived in Chicago for a while. It was so awesome. If one team wasn't in town, the other one was. There was always a game to go to. They tore it down? Okay. I thought they did, but like I said, I don't know that area at all. I know in California, like I said, I've been to San Diego a couple times. I've been to Palm Desert a bunch of times. Company I used to work for had a restaurant there, and I had been there many times for work. Powson, Watson, Mauricio. Vaughn. For the Phillies, Johan Rojas. For Jeremy. Rutrow, 5 seconds left, boys. Time for a Hail Mary. And Alexi Ramirez for the Metropolitans, numbered 96 of 99. Fourth Thinking Elder Station. Oh, that's cool. Too bad we just DFA'd Alberto. Oh, Alberto Rodriguez. Really? Did you? Well, memories. Memories. I was trying to figure out for a second what you were saying there, and I looked over at the card. I was like, oh, I got you. I got you. All right, James Woods, Tatis, Correa, Serda, Allen, Baker, and Carson Williams, green to 99. For the Rays, 52 of 99. For Chad. There you go, buddy. Boy, come on, tough guy pack. Getting weak in my old age. All right, Armstrong, Howard, Urbina, Lyle, Davis, Pedroia, and for the 20s, Noah Miller. When I was young, I tried to go as many games as T-Ball. Oh, I'll bet, man. Bonds was, I don't know. That whole thing is so weird. I'm not necessarily like a big Bonds fan, to be honest with you, but Acuna to 150 for Texas. And I know, of course, there's the whole steroid argument. I just heard someone talking about this the other day, but at the same time, everybody was on steroids back then. Brainer Bonacy for the Red Sox, 6 of 75. So it's kind of like, how can you keep the guy with the home run record out of the Hall of Fame and, you know, all this stuff because you think he did this when everybody was doing it? I don't know. I've talked about this in the past. I think the whole voting by the writers and this and that for the Hall of Fame just, and I know they've done it for like 100 years or whatever, but it just is not right because they let too much political stuff in. Like, the guy was a ball player. Did he play ball well? Yeah. Well, guess what? He should be in the Hall of Fame. It's like Pete Rose or, you know, and I get they're trying to make his point and, you know, bad people, you don't want to, but still, how is Pete Rose not in the Hall of Fame? I mean, even if you want to put an asterisk next to their name or something, yeah. Jorbid Vivas for Great Lakes Loons is the Dodgers, right? Isn't it the Dodgers? I think it is. In the gold. The Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers. Okay. JC Correa, gold. Numbered 32 of 50. it is so funny when you see like the old cards of Bonds when he was like on the Pirates, and then you see him with San Francisco, and he's like 4 times bigger. Although my other argument to that too is Bonds was a damn good player on the Pirates too. I mean, it's not like, you know, um, but I don't know, something. I think it's so weird. Like last year, wasn't last year the last year he could get in or something like that, like his 10th year or whatever, unless I guess he can get in like special 25 years or something like that. You know what I mean? There's some special way he can get in later, but like there were a whole bunch of guys last year who were on their last year. It was like him, Clemens, um, bloody sock guy who I'm not thinking of his name now, Schilling. And again, like, all right, you don't like Schilling's politics, but does that make him a bad baseball player? Like, not worthy of the Hall of Fame? I don't know. It's crazy to me. Abreu and Montgomery and Brett Beatty, the Rumble Ponies for the Metropolitans. Yeah. Yeah, there's something like they're I mean, I feel like Bonds, they have to get him in there at some point. You know what I mean? Like even if it's on this new committee or whatever they are, but I mean, how do you take the guy who's got the most home runs ever and not have him in the Hall of Fame? It's just crazy to me. And again, I don't. It'd be one thing about some big Giants fan or Bonds. I'm really not. I'm just a fan of the game, you know, and I think you should recognize who needs to be recognized, you know. Ian Lewis, blue for the Marlins. My nose is so runny. Don't know why. Jay Allen, 93 of 99. The Reds is who's the Reds? Scott. There you go. Yeah, I think so. Or even like Pete Rose. I mean, granted, Pete Rose is an ass. I mean, like personally and everything, but it seems like baseball, and maybe I could be wrong about this because I'm nowhere near as versed in Hall of Fames as in the other sports that I am in baseball. Like it seems so political, and it's a Hall of Fame. It should have nothing to do with it. It should just be were you one of the best players ever to play the game. And there's a lot of guys who play baseball who are jerks, but it doesn't make them any less a baseball player, And that's the thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about Bonds, but I don't think Bonds was a bad guy. I never remember hearing anything like he was a jerk to people or this or that. He was just good, I don't know. All right, next up, Max Ferguson. Lake Elsinore Storm is the Padres, I believe, right? Padres. Got it. It's been a couple months since we did pro debut. I got to remember all my minors again. Robert, numbered 61 of 150. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of like basketball or hockey or football being like that, right? I mean, where they're so political about things, or we don't like what you did when you did it, but oh, by the way, you were a great football player. I mean, excuse my language, but I mean, you can build like an asshole wing if you want to, like these guys were great players, but they were assholes, you know. John Rhodes to 99 for the Orioles. Like, I kind of wonder if Babe Ruth played now if he would get in, even with as good as he is, because he was not the nicest guy. that's well documented. He was not. I mean, he did some nice things, but he wasn't exactly the most politically correct guy in the world. 65 of 99 for the Giants. Like you wonder how many of those old timers, from back then. Now, granted, politically correctness didn't really, wasn't around back then, but he old Babe had many shady things in his past. Yeah. Well, and that was the thing because it was the 10-year cutoff this year, and like I said, there was like 4 or 5 guys who were all on the 10-year cutoff, who were all like I said, like Schilling, Clemens, Bonds. Who else? There was like 1 or 2 other guys too that it was like, there's no way this guy shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but there was, steroids or this or that or whatever. I mean, anybody who knows anything about professional baseball, like every single player, before the 90s was on speed. I mean, if you want to get into drug allegations, McGreevy, Preciado, Abel, Perez, Langoliers, they said they used to hand out greenies in the clubhouse before games. Drafty debut Sal Frelick to 99. Right? 99, yeah. 43 of 99. Serta Auto for Cincinnati. And Dalen Lyle for the Nationals. I mean, who was there was the pitcher who would trip on acid, right? In pitch. 8 of 75. Who was that? Well, I can't remember now. One of you guys probably remember, but like he'd go out there tripping. Washington is Chad, and the Sal Frelick is for Randy. That's 43 of 99. And Cincinnati is Scott. Doc Ellis, that's right. Oh yeah, they were showing just where was I? Was that on Instagram or was it on? I think it was on Instagram. They were showing. So I'm sure many of you have seen this before. John Kruk was doing a tour of the Phillies clubhouse. This was from years ago, but this was when he was an announcer with MLB or whoever, and he was telling the stories of what they used to do afterwards. And he would sit in this one corner in this chair with 2 pitchers of beer next to him. Was there every night waiting for him. Machado, Santana, White, Franklin, Matos. And then Dalton would be over in the other corner spitting chaw and drinking. And like, it's crazy. Tyler Black for Milwaukee. And Gold Eguy Rosario for San Diego. 30 of 50. Like they were just talking all these stories about like, and they would do that every night after a game. And he said that, who was it? A couple of the players would come in and they would work out because the training room was like, they were in the training room and the weight room was right next to it. He goes, I'd sit there every night drinking my beer, smoking my cigarettes, and think, why are these guys working out? Like, because you're a first baseman, don't actually have to move. Tyler Black was for Randy. Yeah, it's. I'm sure if you did a deep dive on many of the guys who are in the Hall of Fame, they could come up with many a reason that would hold them out today, which is crazy to me. Like, Alcantara, Ramirez, Petty, Banalas, and Herberto Hernandez. River Dogs is Tampa, right? 26 of 99 for the Rangers. River Dogs is Tampa, I think, isn't it? Tampa? Yeah. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it is. It could be wrong. But if it's Tampa, it's Chad. Don Drysdale is quite a drinker. Oh yeah, they were all drinkers. The alcohol was, but I mean, in the 24-hour news cycle and everything else, like, can you imagine if those guys from back in the day got followed around by cameras like that? I mean, even if a guy did something, all he did was, slide a reporter $20 and he would never mention anything about it. Miller, Downs, Cuero, Gorman, Fralick, Malfred Sosa for the 20s to 150, and another gold, another Alberto Rodriguez, working the rainbow. Gold Chrome, 19 of 50. For Tanya. I mean, I don't know how, if you continue, because it's like the Writers Association or whatever, if you let them vote, then personal or political or whatever issues, I guess, are always going to come into play at some point. But I mean, I can't believe somebody at the Hall of Fame doesn't get up and go, guys, all right, we know that Barry Bonds used steroids or probably used steroids. Like, come on, dude. The guy hit 800 home runs. The one thing I've always said is, like, yes, it gives you power, but it doesn't, steroids don't actually make you hit the ball. Like, that takes a skill. I don't, not enough to hold the guy out. That's for sure. All right, box number 4. He owned a bar in Van Nuys, California, literally up the street from me. Oh, really? Who, Don Drysdale did? Wow, that's cool. Well, back then, they didn't make much money. They made nothing compared to today. Those poor guys. All those old guys, especially the football players. Like, there should be some kind of Jordan, Chandler, McCants, Rhodes, Amador, and Vasquez. Tim Raines and a nice little Corbin Carroll there. Arizona. Rich. Go, buddy. It is really amazing when you look at, like, the salaries of players in the 50s and 60s and then into the 70s and then, like, overnight. These guys all of a sudden, half of them back in the 70s were working at used car lots, to make ends meet. 10 of 75 on the Lonnie White for Pittsburgh. For Ryan. And then, now you got guys who make $30-40 million a year and they're saying they don't get paid enough. Well, looks like old Brock Purdy's coming to Philadelphia. That's all right. That D-line will pop him in the mouth a few times. It'll be over quick. I'm feeling, I have to keep my confidence up. Everyone around here was so worried about the Giants game, and I just decided to take we're going to kill the Giants. I don't know what you're all talking about. And they did, so I look like a genius for once. Spikes, Martin, Taylor, House, Wilson. So now I got to stick with my incredible enthusiasm. Jordan Groshans refractor, 66 of 99 for Toronto, and Del Castillo for the D-backs, 4 of 99. There was a YouTube video I saw where some Padres from the 70s had jobs. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. There was actually the last guy. What was his name? There was a player on the Eagles about 20 years ago. God, what was his name? And he was a bouncer at a sports bar, a very famous sports bar here in Philly. This is the last time I remember hearing a guy who, also had a job. Now, granted, he was making league minimum, and at the time, league minimum was probably a couple $100,000 a year. So I'm sure he didn't have to have the job, but he did. He was legitimately a bouncer at this place for whatever reason. It wasn't just hype, like to get people in the door. Like, he was working there before I think he was on the practice squad or something for a couple years, and he started working there, and then he actually made it up to the big team and stuff. But yeah, you go back and look, those guys like 1975 and earlier, they were all had jobs in the off season and all kinds of stuff. Adley, Sabe, Meade, Whitaker, Chipper Jones. That's why now, like minor leaguers, always had to have another job. Alexander Ramirez auto for the Angels for Robert R. Now, I mean, honestly, if you're a AAA player, a good AAA player can make 300-400 grand a year now. Like, but back, you know, not that long ago, all minor league players had to have like off-season jobs and stuff. Gabriel Arias for Cleveland, 6/75. Yeah, especially with those old football players, I always think like they've never really taken care of them well. And honestly, in the last 20 years with the whole concussion syndrome and everything coming up, they've had to pony up some more. But I tell you, the current players should all have to pay like a couple percent of their salary into some kind of fund that goes to the guys who came before them. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, call it a pension, call it whatever. I mean, I know they have a pension, but from what I understand, it's not, especially if you played in like the 60s or whatever, it's not really that great, you know. But the newer guys should be pitching in a little bit with all the money they make. Ford, Castillo, Rodriguez, Bednar, Angelis, Morissette, and Angel Martinez for Cleveland, right? I believe so. Should be Julie. What do we got? 10:01. All right. So, if you're a fan of Pro Debut, like I said, I do still have a few more boxes on the shelf here. I'm probably gonna run one next week and like next Sunday again. I got some hobbies here and a few more jumbos. So, if you're a fan, keep an eye out. We'll be running them in the next week or two. Clear off the shelf a bit. We're coming into a bit of a drought again for releases, so things keep getting backed up. Veen, Peguero, Dominguez, Penungo, Conley, Palmer, Pee Wee Reese, Montgomery. So we're gonna clear the shelves a little bit while we wait for some new stuff to come out. And Series 1's right around the corner. So, I mean, we're still going to be opening 2022 product for a few more months into this year, but Series 1's still supposed to be out in like 3 weeks or something like that. Brian Rococchio for Cleveland. Oh, we got another red and a gold, I think. Nice. De La Cruz, Acuna, Palmer, Schwartz, Encarnacion, Meade, and for the Pirates, Mikel Escato. And that one's to 10, 8/10. And for the Twinnies, Malfred Sosa Gold, 31/50. So we had two reds in those boxes. Red chrome to 5 and a red paper to 10. Nice. All righty. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, I couldn't do this without you guys, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not in any of our other breaks tonight, please stay safe, stay healthy out there. We will be back Thursday. We'll run Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. Maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see. The Pirate is Ryan. There you go. But we'll be back on Thursday. We do have Bowman Mega coming up next for anybody who's in that. And bear with me for a sec. Put a quick hit recap together and get us out of here. Always a lot of stuff out of Pro Debut, that's for sure. Wow, I can't believe I got a few here I didn't even upload yet. Whoop. Runaway top loader. Alrighty. Hit recap for 2022 Topps Pro Debut half jumbo case break number 16. You know, let me put these in order real quick. Sorry. Make life easier. All right, that's better. All right, paper parallels first. Blues to 150. Let's get it to focus. Sosa, Lewis, Rocchio, Acuna, and Rodriguez, all to 150. Greens to 99. Del Castillo, Rhodes, Frelick, Mitchell, and Carson Williams. To 75, Lonnie White and Brett Beatty. And then to 10, Miguel Escato. And then Chromes, the refractors to 99. Groshans, Hernandez, Allen, Bednar, Ramirez. To 75, Arias, Pinungo, Lyle, Bonasi. Golds, we had a bunch of golds. To 50, Sosa, Rodriguez, Rosario, and Correa. And then, of course, that tasty Joshua Baez to 5. It's a cool looking card. And autographs, base up first, Polanco, Pacheco, Rojas, Miller, Vivas, Cerda, Black, Ramirez, and Carroll, and Martinez. And then we had a blue Max Ferguson to 150 and a green Khalil Watson to 99. All right, guys, again, thanks so much for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door, and have a great night. Take care. Bye.